Hello guys, welcome back to TFD. Aces rally to top fever, and losing skid as Caitlin Clark struggles again. So, the Indiana Fever went down to the Aces tonight, and I've got to say, I'm not liking what I'm seeing right now. Let's start from the top. The energy out there for Caitlin Clark was just off from a jump. Honestly, it reminded me of the last game, kind of deflated, under baseline, not talking much, not showing much emotion. And that's weird for Caitlin, because usually you see all her emotion on the court. There are always going to be highs and lows, but tonight, it felt like the lows were weighing on her. Now, I don't want to make assumptions, but you can't ignore the fact that wnba been in her head, and it's showing. Caitlin's 23, and let's be real, she's got the weight of the WNBA spotlight on her shoulders. The Connecticut Sun game was intense, and I'm sure that's still on her mind. Plus, she's been coughing a lot lately. Maybe she's not feeling 100%. All that's got to be affecting her energy. And it's not just Caitlin. The whole team seemed off. The Aces, a team under .500, took it to the Fever, who were right at .500 before tonight. The Fever had a big lead at one point, but when Caitlin and Aaliyah Boston got subbed out for Sid Carlson and Bree Turner, the momentum completely flipped. Bree Turner, man, I don't know what's going on there. She's just not finding her rhythm. And honestly, she's been more of a liability than anything. Every time I see her, it's like can't hit a rock in the ocean. She's not getting enough minutes to get comfortable, but when she's in, it's tough to watch. Now, let's talk about Caitlin's shooting. The slump is real. She went 7-4, 20 from the field, and from 3, 1-4-10. That's rough. But her assists were crazy. Aaliyah Boston dropped 26 points, and most of those were off Caitlin's dimes. The ABC squared pick and roll is deadly, but the three-point shot is what's making or breaking teams this season. The Fever were at 33% from 3 at halftime, but dropped to 26% by the end. The Aces barely edged them out at 30%. Where did the game get lost? Turnovers. Caitlin had a few crucial ones late, game-tied, clutch moments, and she turned it over multiple times. She still got a double-double with 19 points and 10 assists, but those turnovers at the end really hurt. The screens weren't there either. No one was setting or holding them. Natasha Howard set a few, but they weren't solid. Even Aaliyah Boston wasn't setting good screens for Caitlin or anyone else. Screens are so important for creating separation, and tonight, it just wasn't happening. And let's talk about A'ja Wilson. She was shockingly bad in the first half, missing layups, missing bunnies. But in the fourth quarter, she turned it around and dropped 24 points. Kudos to her for stepping up, but that first half was hard to watch. So, to sum it up, energy was off, shooting slumps continued, turnovers were costly, screens were lacking, and A'ja Wilson saved her night with a big fourth quarter. That's the game in a nutshell. Let's see how low energy have Caitlin Clark and see her emotion after losing 2 games continuously.
Yeah, I think the little things, we've kind of just shot ourselves in the leg consistently doing that. We turn the ball over, we foul a lot. You know, those are just easy points for them. I don't know how many points they had at the free throw line tonight, but I think they had 18 off of our turnovers, and that mostly falls on me. That falls on me as our point guard. I think I have to really get us into stuff, especially in the fourth quarter. We didn't do a good job of taking care of the ball. I didn't. So I think just starts with me and just getting better in that. And I feel like we're really close to being really good. And I think that's what's kind of been frustrating about these few losses. And I think for us today, I think this is much different than the Golden State loss. I think Golden State, we just got straight up outplayed and, out hustled. Tonight we did things really well for a good portion of the game. I thought we executed in our scout in the ways that we wanted to, and down the stretch we just really couldn't find a way to get it done.
What was the challenge of getting any kind of offensive flow today? Both teams seem to have a tough time.
Yeah. I thought we executed really well in the first half. I thought we did a tremendous job of making them pick and choose out of the ball screen if they're going to play drop. AB's going to have a field day, and that's exactly what she did. She was able to get, just naked rolls to the rim and be able to finish, and then they made an adjustment in the second half and kind of clogged it a little bit more, and we weren't quite able to get exactly what we wanted there. I thought at times we could have played a little bit faster, and I think that's on me, like not conceding in that. We still got to play up tempo. We still got to play fast. But I mean, I thought for the most part we did a lot of stuff that coach wanted us to do, and that wasn't why we lost.
Caitlin, I believe you're 1-17 from 3 over the past 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling off at all from 3 or anything?
No, I mean, there's going to be stretches that are really good, and there's going to be stretches that aren't as good, and obviously it's frustrating. You want them to go in, and even tonight I felt like there was a few that like felt really good off my hand, and it just didn't go down. And even the mid-range jump shot to start the fourth quarter and the 3 to start the fourth quarter, like they both felt good off my hand. So it's just like it's just frustrating. And I think for the challenge for myself going forward is just continue to pour into every other aspect of the game, and I can continue to have an impact in all those other areas. I thought I got to the rim well. It was just certainly a tough shooting night, and I got to find a way to continue to shoot and remain confident in myself, because I know I put the time in. But for me, I don't feel like it's anything that's off necessarily. But yeah, it'd be nice if they went down.
Aaliyah, you guys are on day 2 of this road trip. You guys have a lot of games coming up, a little rest in between. What's the focus right now for this group in terms of stuff off the court as well, and trying to get the wins?
Yeah, just making sure that we're taking care of our body, taking care of each other. And then for us, our focus is Seattle. We can't look too far ahead because Seattle is right around the corner. So just making sure that we look at this game, what Seattle does, how we want to play, make sure we are just prepared, because obviously they're a good team, and so we have to make sure that we're ready for that.
Caitlin, I know you see this everywhere you go, but how do you feel when you walk into a opposing arena and you see all these young girls and young boys wearing your jersey, with signs for you and stuff? I mean, how does it, as a person, how does that make you feel to see that away from home?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously really, really appreciate it. Like, a lot of people spend a lot of time and money to be able to see us play just one time. So that's never something that gets old, and I think it's always a good reminder for myself if, I have a tough day like today, or, whenever. It's just like there's so many people that are there supporting you and love watching you play basketball. And at the end of the day, that's why you do it, because you can inspire a lot of young girls. So just really thankful for those people that continue to show up and support our team and, love on my teammates. So it certainly isn't something that ever gets old.
At what point, this question's for each of you, at what point, the two-woman game between the two of you was like working amazing in the first half, and later on in the third, at what point do you know, like, this is going to work?
When do we know?
When we
I
watched
think-
film.
Yeah.
We know
So we scout. Yeah.
Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston reflected on their recent loss, focusing on costly mistakes like turnovers and fouls. Clark took accountability, especially as the point guard, for the team's struggles in the fourth quarter, and emphasized the importance of taking care of the ball. She noted the team executed well for much of the game, but couldn't close it out in the final minutes. They discussed offensive flow issues, with Clark mentioning the team played well in the first half, but slowed down in the second. She acknowledged her shooting slump, going 1-4-17 from 3 over the last 2 games, but stressed the need to impact the game in other ways and stay confident. The duo highlighted the importance of focusing on recovery and preparing for their next opponent, Seattle. Clark ended by expressing deep appreciation for the fans, especially young kids wearing her jersey in opposing arenas, and said their support motivates her even on tough days. Man, I don't know if this is on Caitlin Clark, Stephanie White, or the whole squad, but somebody's got to be held accountable. Like, for real, the way the Fever been playing lately, it ain't it. This is not Fever basketball. Not the kind of ball we were promised, not the kind of energy we expected after all the offseason hype. And honestly, there are stretches where they look even worse than they did last season under Christy Sides, and that's saying something. I get it, Dewana Bonner is out, and they're definitely missing her big time. Her leadership, her grit, her scoring. But still, come on. Aja Wilson just took over in the second half, and Indiana had no answer. No adjustments. No fight. I don't know what offense Stephanie White was trying to run, but bro, it looked like chaos. Just bad sets, bad spacing, no real rhythm. Caitlin looked lost. The ball movement was stale. It was hard to watch. Anyway, y'all jump in the comments and tell me what you think. Who's really to blame here? Clark? Coach Steph? The whole system? Smash that like, hit the bell. Already know I'll be back breaking it down again soon.